Well, hello. Today's the 2011 Conan the Barbarian. Conan is the son of the chief of his Cimmerian tribe. At a young age, he proves to be a skilled warrior. The village is attacked by a warlord who wants the last piece to the Mask of Acheron. Conan is the only survivor and grows up to be a pirate. He sees one of the soldiers that slaughtered his village and gets captured to get near him. Conan manages to find the location of the warlord from the captured soldier. The warlord and his daughter attack a monastery to get Tamara, whose blood will activate the mask. Conan rescues Tamara from the warlord's men. Conan and Tamara manage to escape to Conan's ship after a fight with the warlord and the supernatural creations of his daughter. The warlord does manage to recapture Tamara. Conan must fight a tentacled monster to break into the fortress of the warlord. Conan and the warlord have a final confrontation. So this is based on Robert E. Howard's creation of Conan. And I'm, a very big fan of Robert E. Howard's work, especially his Conan. Read his stories, read all the comics, and of course I saw the movies in the '80s with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And of course those were, big, huge hits. And there was plans to make a third, King Conan movie with Schwarzenegger, but he apparently had a lot of other interests, and then eventually he just went into the politics and that, and then they were trying to figure out to do a new movie for it, and they was floating around that the Wachowskis they would get back John Milnius or Robert Rodriguez would do it, and well, it finally apparently in 2011 they somehow got something together to make a movie. And they hired Jason Momoa as the main character, Conan, with Rachel Nichols as Tamara, and Stephen Lang was the evil warlord, and Rose McGowan was his daughter, kind of creepy sorceress woman. I guess she was supposed to play Red Sonja in a Red Sonja movie that her then boyfriend Robert Rodriguez was developing, but that never came through. So this was kind of a consolation prize, I guess, for her. And well, the movie was a big flop. It cost 90 million, but it only made 63 million, and they filmed it in Bulgaria. And it's not really considered one of the best ones. And to be honest, John Milnius movie was a hard act to follow. But it's not as good as the '80s movies from that Schwarzenegger did. It's not probably the best sword sorcery movie I ever saw, but I kind of enjoy this movie. It's kind of fun. I mean, it keeps you entertained. There's nothing really bad about it. Everybody, Jason Momoa did a good job. I like him as the actor, and the other ones they cast. Also, Ron Perlman was his father, and that was a good choice, I thought. And it well, it probably isn't considered the greatest, but I enjoy it, and I think if you like sword and sorcery action movies and want be amused, you should check it out. And I definitely would recommend reading how Robert E. Howard or reading the comics that came out, and there's a lot of them, and I'll put links into my blogs about that. So if you stuck with me this long, I thank you. You're a unique individual.